stocks to discuss, and definitely you have to put the spotlight on Kotak Mahindra Bank, isn't it?
Well, yes, Kotak Mahindra Bank remains in focus. It's down around 10% and that's because of a setback coming in for the bank as the RBI has banned the private lender from onboarding fresh customers through its online platform. Now, the central bank has also ordered Kotak Mahindra Bank to stop issuing fresh credit cards. Gaurav is joining us to give us more details on how will the same impact the bank.
Well, yes, RBI has taken some strict actions against Kotak Mahindra Bank is what we can say actually. They have now asked bank to ban from, they have actually banned the bank from onboarding new customers through their online channel, and at the same time they have also banned the bank from issuing new credit cards. Now, this move was actually taken because of the continued failure on the part of Kotak Mahindra Bank to address the IT issues that the RBI has been highlighting. Recently, RBI also highlighted the issue that the bank customers faced on 15th April, and at the same time, bank can actually provide the services to the existing customer as per RBI's numbers and the RBI's guidelines. But let's look at the numbers of Kotak Mahindra Bank. So, for example, in credit card terms, the Kotak Mahindra has shown a growth of 21% on a YY basis. A credit card book has actually grown almost by 33% CAGR post-COVID, and after that we have seen that 4% of the book now constitutes by credit card. Apart from that, if you look at digital lending, now 25% CAGR growth is what the bank has shown in the digital lending in the last 5 years. 80 to 99% of the new personal loans, credit card business and lending is coming from this digital channels. And if you look at unsecured portfolio also, now almost 20% CAGR is what the bank has shown in this segment also, and now this unsecured book stands at 12% of the bank's total book versus what it was at 7% in FY22. Apart from that, if you also look at some facts given by Macquarie, majority of the unsecured lending, so for example 9.2% of the mix which comes for unsecured lending actually came from digital sources, and at the same time this segment has grown 40% versus what we have seen the normal segment growing at 18% for the bank. So this is actually a very big chunk of banks incremental earnings that was coming from digital and credit card segment. So definitely the bank was going to get a hit after this RBI's ban. And as we see that, the stock is also down almost 10% in the days today.
Actually, Gaurav, in fact, a short while ago, we also got from a source-based information where Kotak Mahindra Bank MD and CEO has written to employees saying that they will continue to onboard customers via the non-digital channels. They're saying onboarding across all products other than credit card will continue. They're also saying they're trying to resolve the issues raised by RBI, and they have been investing in resilience of the tech platforms. This is what Kotak Mahindra Bank MD and CEO has actually written to the employees. This is what we've got from the source-based information. But Gaurav, you have a lot of brokerages that have come out with the view, and what are they saying? Are they expecting this sort of a hit to linger on for a bit?
Well, yes. If we look at the brokerages also now, they are being pessimistic about Kotak Mahindra Bank as well. So, for example, talking about IIFL, they see the impact to be on twofold. So, first would be a slowdown in net interest margins and unsecured books. I mean, there would be higher pressure in net interest margin compression versus its peers, and at the same time, we may see slowdown in the unsecured book, which we saw that increased by 44% in 3Q FY24. If you look at Jefferies, they have actually highlighted that HDFC Bank also faced the same issue some time ago, in somewhere in 2020 or 2021. And at that time, it took 9 to 15 months for HDFC Bank to come out of this issue. And they also believe that for Kotak Mahindra Bank, if this takes more than 6 months, this will actually impact the revenues and cost for Kotak Mahindra Bank. Let's now look at what Investec thinks about it, because they are being a little bullish on Kotak Mahindra Bank. They believe that there would be marginal impact on earnings, and the exposure of the credit card can go down to 3.3% versus what we have seen at around 4% level in the current days. And at the same time, they also believe that the ROA could go down almost by 2.4 bips because of this, and we may also see efficient EPS dilution of around 1% by FY26. Nomura also holds the same kind of pessimistic view on this. They believe that the restrictions can actually impact the Kotak Mahindra Bank's view of growing their unsecured lending by mid-teen percentage that the bank was actually focusing on, and at the same time this will actually also create a reputational risk for the bank. Lastly, let's also look at what Macquarie has to say, because they believe that the digital onboarding was actually a big thing from Kotak Mahindra Bank, and this can actually impact the bank in the medium term. They believe that HDFC's multiple, when the issue has happened in HDFC Bank, was deteriorated from 3.5 times the price to book value to 2.8 times price to book value, and they're expecting the same impact coming up in Kotak Mahindra Bank also. Although none of the brokerages have actually cut the target price except Jeffries, who has actually cut the target price to 1970 rupees for Kotak Mahindra Bank. We are seeing a pessimistic view coming up from brokerages also. So definitely watching out if any kind of commentary coming up from the management which can actually help the stock price revive in the state today.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for that, Gaurav. And hopefully we will hear out some more on this particular front. You have that flashes or other graphics on the screen where Kotak Mahindra Bank MD and CEO has written to employees saying and reassuring that they will continue to onboard customers via the non-digital route. But let's ask our experts whether they concur with the view of the brokerages when it comes to Kotak Mahindra Bank. Let's bring on board Kush Bora for our technical analysis, while we have Vivek Karwa joining us on fundamentals. A very good morning to you, Kush, as well as Vivek. Thank you so much for joining us. And Kush, let me come, or rather Vivek, let me come first to you, because given the fact that you had Gaurav outline what the brokerages have to say, they're saying that there could be a likely hit till the time they're not able to actually come out with the response to RBI on that particular front. But let's talk about Kotak Mahindra Bank as a stock as well. It has not performed that great over the last 1 to 2 years either. And now with this news, we will see further pressure on the stock. But fundamentally, how much has this impacted the bank?
Good morning, Shiril. Good morning, Kush. First thing first, the image of the bank has got dented. Your colleagues have already stated where all the bank business can get affected. It could get affected in onboarding new clients, on cross-selling. There's so many factors wherein the bank is going to see pain. Now, what is going to happen is the bank has been laggard. The stock has been laggard last almost 3.5 years. It's in same range. And I think it might continue again for next 1.5 years, 2 years. So most of these banks need to learn from the example of Paytm, what had happened. So if you're not going to comply, that's a big problem you're inviting. Now, when it comes to RBI, coming back to normalcy might take you at least a year. So that is one big factor which most of these private banks need to see. And when I talk about denting of image, see what happens is when we have to deposit or say bank go and open an account in a bank, we always see the reputation of the bank as well. So the comfort with which people go to HDFC or SBI, and that image again of Kotak has got dented. So that discomfort is going to continue. I think stock will be a laggard. Yeah, for being a Kotak bank, it might come out of these problems, but I feel at least next 12 months, the stock is not going to come.
And Kush, how does Kotak Mahindra Bank look to you on charts? Is it still no buy for Kotak Mahindra Bank?
Sure. Hi, Somit. Hi, Shil. Hi, Vivek. Well, typically I'd be tempted and I'd be inclined to say that, these kind of news flows, when they come about, they turn out to be a buying opportunity for the stock from a, medium-term perspective, at least, sometimes even a near-term perspective. But that's the case for a stock which is either consolidating with a positive bias or is in an uptrend and then sees a crackdown. Now, if your team can bring up the chart for Kotak Mahindra Bank, let's say for the last, 2-3 years, maybe a little more as well, what you'll find is that the stock has actually made a high somewhere close to October of 21. And from there, the stock's just been, giving way. It's just been seeing selling pressure at higher levels. 1600, 1625 is a zone where the stock has taken support in the past and, rebounded from there. So there is a possibility that, it might halt here for some time. But, will it rebound? I'm not sure. And given the kind of momentum that we've seen on the downside, if this level is taken out, I'm afraid, the stock could see lower levels to come also. So at the moment, my suggestion would be to avoid any kind of fresh buying, on the impulse that, perhaps a big crack in a big name is an opportunity to buy. Maybe once the fall settles, it just might turn out to be, a near-term play. But for now, my suggestion would be to wait and watch. A very critical level to watch is 1600 to 1625 zone. If that is taken out, then perhaps, the stock could see lower levels in the coming months.
All right, so wait before actually going ahead and buying this particular count is the word coming in from Kush as well.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.